Hello beautiful souls, this is Anshifela and this video is dedicated to how we can successfully navigate through Mercury retrograde. So first of all, it might be quite important to know what is a retrograde, okay? So a retrograde is when a planet appears to be turning backwards in the sky. Of course they don't do that, but this happens due to an optical illusion caused by differences in the orbit. So all the major planets except the sun and the moon go retrograde from time to time. And when planets do go retrograde, the impact of the planet changes and the type of activities that are recommended change too. So coming into Mercury retrograde, or we are actually in Mercury retrograde at the moment. Just recording this video on the 7th of February, so we are right in it, in the first Mercury retrograde of 2021, which goes until February the 21st. We got a second one from May 29th to June 22nd, and number 3 is September 22nd till October 23rd. So we got beautiful big time windows in between, but those 3 weeks of Mercury retrograde send us some challenges, which once we know about them, it's all about the knowledge, we can deal with them and we can use them for our benefits. So Mercury goes in retrograde usually around 3 times a year, sometimes even 4 times. So what is Mercury retrograde all about? So Mercury is the planet of communications, contracts, travel, legal affairs, and technology, and is ruled by the sign of Virgo and the 3rd house of communication. So Mercury represents the way we communicate, think, learn, and process information. Mercury can be thought as of the messenger. It is considered to be a fairly harmonious planet, but whilst in retrograde, however, it tends to bring disruption, technological difficulties, and problems with agreements and contracts. So when Mercury goes retrograde, it is for us a time to step back, to slow down, and to wait it out. During a Mercury retrograde, we may feel slightly disorientated, stagnant, stuck, or like nothing is moving forward easily. So what we're looking for, like once we're in alignment, everything is moving with ease and with grace. Mercury retrograde brings some energies in there that disrupt this flow and ease and grace. But knowing that Mercury retrograde is happening brings you back to the center, that it's not you. It's not you that's necessarily out of alignment. It's just a time to slow down and reflect on things. So Mercury retrograde is basically asking us to double check everything and to put off what can be delayed, and also checking all the little fine prints. So be super just aware of what is going on in your life, what is super important, and always have a backup plan happening as well at hand. So wait, all my beautiful creative friends out there who are creating products and courses, and you might want to stay in this creation stage a bit longer and hold off to launch the new product or the new course until Mercury is back out of retrograde. So even while also dealing with technology, signing contracts, or traveling, or making major purchases during this period. So often life is happening, okay, even if we are in our beautiful bubble of harmony and pace and creating from our heart space, the world out there is still happening, and we can't always not sign contracts and hold off traveling just because a Mercury is in retrograde. So we have to have the backup plans, make sure you have enough time, make sure you're reading everything, make sure you keep communications really straight and easy, like short, easy, because communication is kind of like one person is saying this and the other is saying A, and the other person is understanding Z for some reason, and it just does not fit anymore. And so clear and straight to the point communication makes like, okay, cool, that's what's happening. And will save you lots of hassles from miscommunications. So it's also a time to be really flexible, just staying super flexible and super relaxed and super just open. What this time brings for us. So it is teaching us to slow things down and go inwards. Okay, and also learn that not everything is because of us. Like, they are those universal shifts, they are collective energies. There's so much happening out there that, you know, we have to focus on ourselves and on our hearts and go inwards. So how can Mercury retrograde be actually a good thing? Okay, so believe it or not, Mercury retrograde can actually enhance, there are the birds confirming, and bring luck to our lives if we know how to use the energy of this time correctly. And I'm going to tell you how to do that. And what I forgot to say, actually those beautiful souls of you out there that are born during a Mercury retrograde might feel like, oh, what is all this fuss about? Everything is just working out perfectly for me during that time. And that's what's happening as well. It's kind of like this all upside down. So feel yourself lucky if you are born during a Mercury retrograde, okay? So there's never ever a one size fits all thing. And also, before we fear Mercury retrograde, and that's a very important thing actually to mention, is the law of attraction from the law of the universe. Okay, if we do fear Mercury retrograde and go into this time frame with the knowing, or with the beliefs, not with the knowing, with our beliefs, that this is when nothing works out, my technology breaks, there's miscommunications and anger and frustrations, this is what you're gonna go and create. And that's not good. That doesn't serve anyone. So it is super important to bring yourself back and slow things down and reflect and see how your thoughts are creating your reality. Okay, if you're living in a state of fear and frustration and anxiety, Mercury retrograde will actually amplify that as well. Okay, like, please don't go ahead in Mercury retrograde. It's like, oh, this is when nothing works out. This is what you are attracting. So just have this playfulness, have even keep your innocence. Oh, let's see how what this Mercury retrograde brings. Maybe it's not as bad as others were. You know, don't let the past define your future. You always create and you always choose every single moment of every single day. Okay, so why Mercury retrograde is actually a good thing. So it is amazing catching up with old friends. This is the time tying up those loose ends again. You know, when people from the past are reaching back out to you, just go and see and explore. They might want old things back from you and totally cut the cords, or they might just, you know, have been thinking about you and want to reconnect, and then somehow there's some magic in the air. Those old contacts just work out in communication with ease and flow, and it's just like, whoa, I really love connecting with this old friend or this family member I haven't seen for a while. So be open and observe if this is something true for you. So yeah, also if you really feel like you want to get back with an old friend that you're really missing, just go and do that. I really encourage you to see how that works out for you. So the second point is that you can breathe life back into old and forgotten projects. So remember that book you started writing or reading, or that website you started building, or that photo album you made. It's really good idea to go back where you stopped and just go into the creative mode again. So it's real, and especially it works again like old friends, old projects. There's something to it that they want to be picked up again. So it's also really good to finalize and finish old projects, old relationships and really tie those, untie and cut all those cords there. So yeah, even people like your exes or something, they're still in there. Let's stay with this example. Old romantic relationships that haven't worked out, but you're still like in and out. It's really, really good to have this last final conversation and to really see and check, is that really, really done, basically, okay? So it's like a wild card. Mercury is like a wild card. You never really know what you're gonna get. So you have to be open and play with it, okay? So that other person might be turning around a totally new perspective, okay? And you can rekindle your relationship and get back to how it was, or even better. Or it really is an opportunity to cut things and say a final goodbye and move on. By doing that, you create more space, again, more room, more options entering into your life once Mercury retrograde is over. So making room for the magic is really, really cool, instead of having like old unfinished projects still lingering there, like interference of energies, and you want to just make it super, super clear. This is what Mercury retrograde is inviting you to do. And also super, super important, reflection. Sit, relax, slow down, relax. This is what Mercury retrograde is forcing us to do. All those like things are like, it's just nothing seems to work out, okay? Or you get those signs, or maybe everything works out and this Mercury retrograde is easy and smooth sailing for you. But if things do not work out, take it as a sign, as a really, really important sign from the universe to slow things right down and reflect. Take your journal on it, write, listen to music, do whatever your soul is really loving. It's really, really the best time for downtime, and this is like point 4. So relaxation is fully supported during this time. You got my permission, you got the permission from the universe, you got the permission of everyone to just relax. Hello, Babs. Here's just someone joining the video, having a little peek. This little Noah. Mommy's just gonna do some work, darling. So it's one of the really, really best times to surrender to the energy and flow with it by relaxing instead of fighting it, okay? Having the patience, trusting into divine timing, that once we're through it, things will flow with ease and grace again. So getting into the self-reflection, some really, really good questions to ask is, what could I have done differently? And you can write those questions down and get back to them after this video. What have I learned from the situation? How can I turn this experience into a positive one? So Mercury retrograde really, really likes those questions. And actually, instead of feeling stagnant and feeling like going backwards, those questions and reflecting on them will bring you so many insights. It's literally magic in the air. Noah, excuse me. Go inside, put some pants on. Put some pants on. And then you can come back. It's just a naked bum. Oh. Okay, we're nearly finished. So, so with all this time to reflect, you might start to see things from a new perspective that you've never thought of before. I might just cover his bottom. And when Mercury goes direct again, that will be the perfect time for you to turn that new perspective into a solution and make things right again. And also, it's a really, really best time, I swear, to have a major clear out. So it's the perfect time to get rid of the old. It's kind of like the full moon too, full moon energies, and make way for the new that will flow in when Mercury is out of the retrograde and goes direct again. So really, really good declutter, will release old stagnant energy and get things moving. It will also do wonders for your mental state. We all know that retrograde, the brain fast and the confusion. So having a clear space to come home to can really, really help with that. And it's really, really good time for teaching us important life lessons. So when Mercury is in retrograde, it's crucial that we ask important questions, read all the small print, double check everything, really, really listen. Most of us have forgotten how to listen when people speak, and to make sure we truly understand and not are already ahead in responding and replying without even understanding what the other person says. So take your time with that, and take your time with the other person's talking, what that means. It's also a space of compassion in there, really understanding, holding the space, connecting with the energies, and speak very clearly ourselves to ensure that we are not being the ones misunderstood. So we usually think, oh, why shouldn't we do that anyway? But we don't. We are just in the state of rush, 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 get things done, quick, 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 bigger, better, more. Mercury retrograde is really the biggest teacher to slow things down and bring us back in that centeredness, in our alignment, back in there, what is really important for us. And it might not be the phone that is crashing and you need a new phone. It might, be a sign. More time with your family, more time with your loved ones. It can be quite painful realizations, but sitting with that and reflecting on that will really, really help you through that time, and to come out at the end stronger. Okay, so yeah, personally, I laugh when things break, when they are the craziest miscommunications during Mercury retrograde, like really, really crazy. And I'm always just putting my friends up on that, and we're just sitting there and having a good laugh. How on earth you could just misunderstand so much. And also in the relationships, it's the same. Just keep it open, keep that compassionate heart space, and work with this law of attraction. Don't get too serious, don't get too caught up in that. Create from a space of love and compassion, with your dreams opening up. But because Mercury, it's just a certain time frame, and life will become normal again after, and you'll be like, phew, if you have done the down work during the Mercury retrograde time. Good, so that's basically it. So the key points I had at the end now, just to share, it was like really tune into your intuition. You're naked. It's such a hot day, all my kids are naked. Take a new perspective. She doesn't understand what I'm saying. You're gonna be on video. Review and reflect on what has passed. Alika, I really mean it. Darling, please hear me. Good. Realign your vision and your strategy. Come back into that aligned space. Backing up your technology. I just started a Facebook Live before, and I could tell, like, if it's a hot day and Mercury retrograde in combination, my phone of course overheated and shut down, and the energy work as well that I'm always doing within there. So I told them straight away from the beginning, okay, if I get, kicked out basically by Facebook, by my phone, by technology, by whoever that is, I'll be back and record this video and put it up. And even a bigger scheme. So there we go. Have a backup plan, backing up your technology, holding off if you can on important and serious decisions. Double check all travel details. Avoid signing contracts or launching new offerings. Just hold that off those few more weeks. It's okay. It will be for your benefit. Slow down and rest. You got full permission to slow down. Self-care. Love yourself up again and rest. Rejuvenate. Get all your energy back. Recharging. There could be nothing more than a better excuse than Mercury being in retrograde for that one. be patient, keeping your schedule loose, have little pockets of time, have big pockets of time just in there, because things are going across, and then you don't need to stress. You can easily be flexible and move and shift things around. Carefully review your communications. Come from a space of heart, come from the space of understanding, of compassion. The birds agreeing again on this one. Double check your emails, double check your phone calls, double check your appointments. Double check everything. Aleko just said double check everything. Finishing your old projects, yoo-hoo, and reconnect with old friends and acquaintances. And this is how you best navigate through Mercury retrograde. If you do have any questions, pop them in the comments below, and I'll get back to you with some insights how to navigate in specific situations, or just write me an email or a messenger. I'm here, I'm available. So we got all my 3 beautiful kids today in the video, popping their heads in. So it is a Sunday. I was really called to do this video, so I'm here showing up, and much love for y'all. Bye. So much love.